did the exam, and today they are receiving their results.
Right. Despite some of these hardships, children, no doubt, and Kenyans really are resilient. Of course, we wish everybody the best as you await your results. Let's delve deeper now into the actual numbers, and this is where I will bring you in now, James, since you are the data guy. Looking at 2022, that's just last year. When we have a look at the number of candidates, as we've touched on, there were less. This time we've got about 1.4 million pupils. Last year was around will perform. Taking all factors into consideration, we've just talked about some of the challenges that pupils and families may have had. And so bearing that in mind, what do you think? Is it going to be better than last year?
Now,
tricky question.
Yeah, it's tricky, but mostly, like for us who work with on data, what most matters here is the proportion, because you expect an increase from 1.2 million to 1.4. You expect the number or the magnitude of the number to increase, but when you look at the proportion in terms, because the challenge here, we have limited resources in terms of the number of positions in secondary school. It's fixed. Even though there is an increment, you expect to be fixed. So automatically, if we had like those who scored like over 400 to be like, let's say 9,000. So you expect, because like last year there were 9,444. Those are the candidates who scored 400 and above.
Right, between 400 and 500.
You know, automatically looking at it demographically, you expect when the population is increasing, even those small segments, like the cohorts, keep on increasing until a time when the fertility rate will go down and all that. So that's something, a topic for another day.
Right.
Now, whenever there is such an increase, you expect the number to increase. But the challenge, as I've mentioned before, are the positions enough to cater for their needs? And as mentioned, and the experience that we have had in the past 1 year, the increment in terms of food prices and all that, will they be able to cope up? Because that's the biggest problem. One thing that I've already seen, and given that I'm a parent, there is like a around 30 to 40% increase on school fees. And especially for those of us who take their kids to private schools. Now, when it gets to public school, where like majority of parents who take their kids, you find the capitation grants reduced, although there is that increase in terms of the numbers. Whatever is allocated to education, either. So what does it tell you? That if a teacher was handling like 30 students, this time round,